All right, welcome back to Hollywood Animal. Hope you're having a great day today. Flame Upon a Stone just finished its post-production, and it's going to be dropped down to about 7.5 now. So we're going to get that out there. I think this one, it's like a dragon going on here. Yeah. You know, we'll put the dragon in the background. It's cool. So let's get this thing added to our calendar. And we think Nonsense is probably going to run twice. Maybe. Maybe. Let's see. Where's Nonsense going to go? Nonsense is 4.7. We might run it twice. Now, here's the thing, though. We have enough. I think at this point, we now have enough. So I'm going to go and have Flame Upon a Stone released right at Thanksgiving. Okay, on the holiday. We're going to release this twice, but we're going to do so in our own theaters, right? We're going to have capacity for this. So Flame of Stone, what we're going to do is this. I'm going to jam all of these all the way to 5,600. Then we're going to buy some additional screenings to get us over that mark. So 7.4, we're going to go to, let's say, 7.7. So maybe 7.8. And the second one we'll do is maybe like a 6. Let's go 6.9. And then after that, we'll go down to, let's say, 6.2. Let's go 6.1. And then we have the 5.6 here with just the screenings here for this, okay? That's how we're going to do this. Let's go ahead and print this. Yep. We're going to start our advertising for this, I think, back on October 19th, and we'll bring it all the way over to like halfway into the next cycle, I guess. We're going to click as much marketing as we can. I think probably here is good, though. Just real quick check on the film is. It's an action adventure, fantasy night, evil monsters, damsel is in distress. We can probably target the family for this one. This is that's not a big deal, yeah? I think so. So why don't we also go in and get... I want to get the kids. I want kids to come and see our movie too. So like this is the publisher of comic books and stuff. I think popular among school children could work here. It's like it's dragons and fantasy. It could work. It could bring could bring new people to the thing. I think I might go ahead and do that. This is a lot of money though. Shit. We're spending a lot of money on this. I think maybe... geez. Okay, how just try this. We go like not the sophisticated audience. We'll go here. I don't know if this is going to be good or not. Like putting this in for like kids in this, but I'm thinking like the dragons and stuff, right? We want kids to older audience, fashion house, comic books. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's going to work. I really don't. I'm going to go tried and true here really quick. I don't think that's going to work, but 200,000 for this. We can definitely make the money back. So let's go ahead and apply it. Now we can try some tricks. I don't know exactly when we need to do the tricks, but we'll try it. So if I add a trick, I'm going to say that I want to do a hospice visit. Chance of success, 100%. It's going to take $10,000. And we need a participant for this. I'm going to say I want... the superstar, Victor Chavez, to come out and do this. I'm not doing anything shady. If you want to advertise a movie, buy a page in a newspaper. Great. Okay. Roberto, would you like to... Oh, you know what? Hospice visit. Vivian seems like the kind of person that would love to be there. But honestly, the Rising Star is probably the better one to do it. So he's willing to do the dirty tricks. That's fine. So we're going to have $10,000 into Roberto. Go ahead and doing a hospice visit. Sweet. And then that's going to happen in this area, and that'll be right before the film releases. It's fine. Okay, apply that. Cool. So we're going to have that going on. Now, while that's happening, we know that we want Nonsense to, overlap that a little bit. So since we have some money left over, let's buy additional cinemas, right? And then... the second run can be in the extra screenings that we have. So let's buy we'll go 175 on the cinemas now. There we go. And now we can have a much higher capacity to show our films. We have to be careful. We don't overspend every month, right? We have to maintain those cinemas. It takes us maintenance, right? So we do have to be careful on that. But I think if we constantly kick out monies, it's going to be great. Constantly kicking out movies. Okay, so attendance kind of stayed... yeah, fairly 1% all the way through. So this one can be ended. We're going to end distribution on this movie, send it to the archive. And then one extra week goes by for Nonsense to screen. Okay, Corruption. This is the one with our corrupt official. It's not a great movie, but our people made it a little bit better. All right. Gregory Gross is level 4. Well, hot damn. Go ahead and give you a speed up. There we go. And he's probably going to want more money later too, isn't he? Ah, man, he probably is. All right, let's get some... yeah, we'll get a security person on that. There we go. And nonsense. Release the film. We get a C on our Kino Mark score. And we'll wait for the reviews to come in. There we go. All the people get their experience. There we go. And 620,000 is our total all in. Okay. Let's see how much money it can make then. In the meantime, Thin Blue Line is done. Let's get that into post-production. Immediately. Yep. Start post. Because we're running out of time for this. Might need to rush it. We'll see. Emma Berry, Lewis. Get you, get you, get you. Go. All right, so how much time we have? I'm not seeing the... There it goes. All right, so we have 159 days. We're going to make it. Perfect. All right, return from vacation. Excellent. We have Herbert, or Herman? Is it Herman? I'm messing up your name, aren't I? I'm sorry about that. Let's get another film going. First, let's check the ideas. Are you writing anything? Richard, I want you to write this detective movie. Go do it. And then the other writer we have is our comedy writer. So if you could come up with, you know, I'll come up with a comedy. How's that sound? Clumsy O Fantasy Kingdom. This is a comedy adventure. We could have you. This is already written. How do we want to do a comedy? Can we do like I'll just have you come up with it. It's fine. Comedy from an outcast. That could be funny. Something you could do a comedy around an outcast. Could be funny. We'll let Bernard do that one. Go ahead and write something for us, Bernard. Just see what you come up with. No, it's fine. We have lots of people we could, yeah. And we'll buy scripts too if they're available. Everything's very expensive, so I don't think I want to buy any of these. They're very good, but they're just very expensive, and I have other scripts that I can produce right now too. So why don't we try to get to No Battles Lost? See what we can produce with No Battles Lost. We have 2 movies left with you. We're on timers with some of you guys, so I want to use them as best as I can. And I think probably would have been nice to get Thomas doing this before his contract is up. Unfortunately, his is going to expire. But we can get 286 days. I need to get a different movie with Philip, like right away. So we'll have Franklin do this one. We'll give you Soundstage B1. Until we get good location scouting, I really don't want to go on location. We can do better with the sound stages for now. And then we'll have our technology. Let's give you as much tools as we can give you because it usually makes the movie better. Our producers are all going to have their contracts expiring at the moment, so we need to get new producers. And you know what? This frickin' guy, Gregory, dude, you're underselling yourself. I'm going to take advantage of that. It's kind of wild. We're going to give you medical insurance. I'm going to get you for... I'd get you for more years if I could. Signed. Okay. So we got that one, and then I think getting a movie-specific contract wouldn't be half bad. We have a couple of these guys here. Racist, lazy, perfectionist. A 3.1 isn't bad for that cost. I can also get this guy. Chaste or perfectionist. Attitude can lead to stress and overwork and often doesn't improve the result. I think I'm going to go with Alejandro Weiss here. And we're going to get this guy for... We'll start out with 3 films. If we like him, we can extend it. I don't know if I'm going to have this guy for many years, but we'll start out by having him for 3 films. $11,000 is easy. 3.1. You know, we'll have some films that are around there. Not everything needs to be a huge, enormously expensive movie, right? Just kick things out that can make money. As long as you're making money, you're good. And get people into projects that are closer to their skill level. So now I wonder what it would cost me to get Anthony for a single movie. He's at 18 days from expiration. It's an interesting idea. We're going to put Jasper on this one because his skills are more in line with this, but I am going to make him happier. Let's give him... whiskey's so expensive, but yeah, I need him to be happier, so we'll do that. I guess we'll give him both. I really need him to be happier so we can do this. All right, and then everybody's contracts are kind of getting close to expiration. We're going to grab... Let's put Roberto into the detective role here because he's played it recently. The rival... We can put you, I think, as the rival. Yeah. Let's make sure we're getting close to expiration, though. So this guy's probably going to expire if I don't make him a rival. He has recently played the rival, though. I think I'd like him to play a different role than what he's recently played. I say that, but I'm doing the same thing for Roberto right now. Maybe I swap them. Maybe you're the detective and you're the rival. Right? This is a historical piece. Just straight up historical. I think I want that. I think Roberto is going to play the detective, or sorry, the rival, and then you, instead of you playing the criminal mastermind this time, or wait, which one is it? It's you. Yeah, instead of you playing the rival, I'll have you play the detective. We'll just see how that goes. And then the criminal one, generically named criminal one, we'll have that be Wilson, and then generically named criminal two. You're going to have your contract expire pretty soon. We're going to stop doing actors. Again, unless they're really cheap to do it, we're going to stop doing actors on time and start doing them on films only. Because it just makes it a little easier, I think. Yeah, criminal gang. He's played this before, too. We'll pop you in here, too. Okay. There's a lot of criminals in this. Holy shit. 5 in this gang. Wow. This is an expensive movie for a 5.0. Everybody get in here, I guess. Sure. Everyone's going to be a criminal today. Why not? Jeez. I mean, hire extras. You're basically extras at this point. Larry Martinez, get in here. I'm going to hire all of you guys to just... You're all going to play this role. Movies. Larry, I want you for 3 movies. If I could, please. 34K. Sounds fine. Let's just get you in here. Holy moly. That's some pretty crazy stuff. That's a lot of criminals for a single movie. Where did you go? Right here. Yep. Okay. So that's kind of everybody. We'll get Martin to be a little happier, so your performance will not suck. We need to get Manuel to be happier too. So we'll have to give these two some gifts in a second as well. And we'll continue and sign it. Wow, that's a lot of actors. I didn't realize there was 5 criminals in this gang, but yeah. That's the thing about that criminal gang thing. It is potentially very expensive because you have more actors. Okay, so first we're going to get some gifts. Let's get 2 more whiskeys and 2 more of the watches. We don't want to get too many because, again, raids are a thing and we don't want to get stuck with it. Double reputation for profitable films. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Studio's reputation is going to go up twice as much now when we have profitable films. That's going to be huge. So we can get reputation for loyalty. I like that. Grows if the staff's loyalty averages above 70. That might be tricky to do. We'll go with charity for now. Charity's a little easier to manage. Arthur Gernstein. So the last time we talked, I might have seemed a little overconfident. Even arrogant. Anyways, I hope you're not offended. Believe me, no one cares about this film business of ours as much as me. And my goal is to bring people together, not push them away. I learned this back in my youth in Minsk. My friends and I were bullied by some punks who called themselves the Nyoman Gang. And not just us, but the whole neighborhood. So what did I do? I made a deal with all the neighborhood kids, even the ones I couldn't stand. And we called ourselves the Alliance. Together, we gave those jerks such a beating that no one has heard from them since. Those were good times. We We should make a movie about it sometime. The politicians, the priests, all the do-gooder hypocrites. They're just like the Nyoman gang. They think they can attack us and our business and get away with it. They're exploiting the fact that we're divided. But don't worry, I've got an idea. I even discussed it already with a couple of our colleagues. So don't let them get you down, kid. There's good news on the way. Yeah, thanks. I'm waiting with bated breath. I think I'm about to get raided. Okay, so I want to make sure I spend these extra things that I just bought before I get raided. So let's go into no battles lost really quick and make sure that we get these guys taken care of. So the protagonist needs a gift. I'm gonna give him a watch. And I may actually need to give him another one. Alexander Hubbard, yeah, screenwriter's fine. You're already done with your job. Yeah, we'll have to wait, see if those other ones come in, but we're gonna have to keep an eye on this. Yeah, good luck, actor. David Gutman, see you later. Didn't even refer to him as his name. I just said actor. What an insult. What an insult. No gifts yet. I have to wait. Gotta be very quick with this. Here we go. Flame upon a stone. The trick worked. The trick worked. The event with Roberto Jones is all over the papers and causing quite a stir across America. Nice. So that's going to hopefully raise all of us up. Yeah, I can have another. This cinematographer's not great, but he's pretty cheap as well. And we're going to have some films that are down there. And, you know, I mean, working with him over and over again, he's going to get improved anyway. So let's get him for 3 movies. He's pretty cheap. So sign that contract really quick. We'll get some movies that are in 3.5 area, and he can work on those. All right, real quick. No battles lost. I need to get rid of this. I need to get rid of the whiskey as it comes in. Yes, Silver Moon, you can get a watch, right? Ooh, I already gave you the watch. I gave it to you over a year ago, though. You might be all right with it. Yeah, you're fine. Over a year ago it's usually cool to get another one. All right. Yeah, Sarah. Sorry. Bye. I know you're really cheap, but no, bye. I don't want to use you. I'm sorry. I just don't. From the demo to countless reruns and starts, I just don't care about you. I just don't. Sorry. It's the way it is. Traumatic experiences. And yeah, this is a pretty good producer. I guess we'll get him. He's all right. He's not the cheapest. I would like him to be cheaper than this, but maybe I'll get him, go a little bit here with the medical insurance. We'll get him for 3 movies instead of the time. Okay. So Thin Blue Line's nearly done. Then we'll get Pour One for Me starting on the edit. Excellent. So this one, we're going to reset the distribution. Now, we're resetting it because it's going to be releasing at the same time Flame Upon a Stone is releasing. So we want to get rid of all these rental spaces, right? It's very competitive in here. There's not even a whole lot of spaces to buy anyway. But the first week, we can have maximum showings. No big deal. After that, though, we're limited to 525 a week because that takes up... No, this one here is using all the other ones. So essentially, we're just using the extra capacity that we just unlocked by buying it. It should be fine, I believe. The only problem is that Thanksgiving happens on one of the weeks where there's only 525. But I think we're down to the point where we're going to be fine with that. So we're going to... Not sure why we have to print additional copies, but okay. Anyway, go for it. Okay. Anthony Campbell, I like you, actually. You've been doing really well. I would like to renew your contract. I just like to do it. I didn't want to do it right at the end because you were going to charge me basically the same just to get to this point. I wanted to wait until you got 18 more days, and now I can extend it for the same amount of money, but I can extend it long into the future instead. I like that better. So we'll go 3 movies with you. We'll grab the medical insurance bit, and we'll get 3 movies for 35K. I guess it's more like 36K, but whatever. Okay. With Thin Blue Line wrapping up post-production, we can now get the other big film in there. And this is going to end up being a 6. I'm comfortable with that. Definitely. Emma's getting better. She's gonna need a break. That editor's been just doing nothing but editing every single day. I'm keeping her busy. The other editor's like, man, when do I get a shot? Not yet. So this one's gonna release. We could probably release it right along with Flame Upon a Stone. We want to start trying to do that a little bit more, right? So I think I'm gonna release this right alongside, if it'll let me. Maybe we'll stagger it a little bit. Yeah, looks like it's gonna be a little staggered. That's fine though, because we can release it with maximum showings on our own theaters, and we really only need to buy a little bit of screenings. Ooh, actually, hang on. So the first week, probably gonna want to pull this back. I'll just buy more theaters. You just leave it like this. I'll buy more theaters for the other movie. It's fine. So this one here, we're gonna go just a little bit higher, about there, I think, and then everything else will just be the standard screenings that we have. Okay. And then we'll have advertising go all the way through Thanksgiving here with this. And let's have these avenues. I want to really get people in here. Magazines, radio stations, intelligent, sophisticated people. An extra 40 grand might be good. Okay, we'll have a lot of advertising for this, I guess. I'm not going to do any dirty tricks with this one, because I don't trust my luck. It might backfire and then I get bad press. So we'll just run that right now. And then I'm going to need to buy more theaters in order for us to be able to support the other film that's on right now going additional from there. So we're going to buy another, let's go up to 190. Geez, I'm probably overspending. I mean, I'm really buying a lot of theaters at this point. I think I'm overspending, but we'll see. All right, as long as I'm kicking out the movies and releasing them, then it's not overspending as far as I'm concerned. As long as we can keep filling the theaters, it's fine. All right, we're gonna have this one as good as we can. It's not gonna be 9.9 when it's out the door, but it'll be as good as we can do. And then I think I want to get you. Can you be happy? Thank you for being happy. Emma's fine. Okay, you guys are gonna perform as good as you can. That's all I can ask for. No Battles Lost is done. Moves on to production now. Looks like we did a pretty good job with it. Yeah, everything seems fine. Some security on site. Off you go. And then let's try Dead Sailor's Wedding. Wow. Protagonist overcomes self-doubt. Okay. What an interesting script. Dead Sailor's Wedding. You're on a limited time, so I'm gonna have you do this one, and then we're gonna give you a B-level soundstage. Yep. Let's just pop these in. There we go. Perfect. Filming tech, same thing as we had before. Give you all the props. It's gonna be a great movie. Producer. You have 1,000 days left. I think I would have liked to have gotten Vincent in here, and maybe not really. He's not really all that great. Who else could I do instead? You're not too expensive, but if I'm gonna spend 562, I'd rather spend 575 and get a 7.9, you know? And you're also great with thrillers, which I don't know what this is, but we could use you on some thrillers. We could definitely have it. Let's see what we got here. Producer, let's get you for 3 movies. 143, yikes. That's expensive. 43, that's way more than I thought, honestly. Now 2 movies is 100K. That's an interesting shift. We'll pop the medical insurance in there just to knock it down below that, so I can say that I didn't pay 6 figures for you. Okay. That's gonna be better. Thank you. Better producer then. So we can go and get Walter in here for a couple of movies, but since he's on a timer, I think I'd rather just use you. And then I'll have you for a better movie that's a better script that's later. 3 movies left, 1 movie left for this guy, and this 3 movie left here. Let's have Richard can take this one. It's a little bit his speed. And, you know, I could put Edward on this, but I think there's probably a better movie for him. All these guys are just like pending expiration, so Who's going to be our outcast? Outcast is... This is an adventure movie, and he's going to try to be an outcast. Let's see. Who do we want to bring in play that role? Victor is still available. He's never been an outcast, but he does like thrillers. This is an adventure movie, though. He's been an adventure. He's expensive. I think I'd rather... Let's get somebody who's not quite as good, but has, you know, a lot of happiness. Like you. Another Victor who's an addict, but you know what? Way, way cheaper. And you're very happy. I like it. Let's have you, we'll have you do it. We'll go movies, please. We'll get you for three films. I like it. Sign him up. Okay, next actor. What's the other role we need? A tribal chief. All right, a tribal chief. A tribal chief. So, does anyone have experience in this sort of thing? Bandits, soldiers, criminal gangs. Okay, but he's occupied. Like, he's taken by another studio right now. Come down here for the people who are actually available. Yeah, I just get Wallace, I guess. 4.2. Conceded. Chast, that's fine. Okay. You guys can handle it, I'm sure. You're a little bit under the rating for the script, but I think if you're really happy, you're driven by people with great vision, everything should be fine. You'll perform above your rank. I'm confident. Okay, who's going to be the outcast? I think Victor is our outcast. Nope. I think Victor is our outcast. All right, so we're going to have Wallace be our tribal chief. Victor will be our outcast. It's the mustache. I got to make... It's just this. He seems very outcast-like, doesn't he? I don't know. It's the addict in him. All right, seems good. Seems good. We will start another script. Real quick check on the market to see if we have, I was going to say any affordable scripts, but not really. Any synopsises, ideas? All my writers are currently doing other things, so it's not a huge deal. We could work out a story of our own, but we already have The Mountain, which is already a story of my own, and I could get that going. I would like to get, The Little Balls. What a great title for Bernard. First he's bringing, was it Felix or Bernard? I forget. Which one was like the one that discovered rape? Now he's working on The Little Balls. Flame Upon a Stone is done. We're going to release that now. Onwards. A B-. All right. Decent exposure. As opposed to indecent exposure. That's another thing that Bernard's going to do later. Okay. So, looks like we're good. And everybody's happy so far anyway. Yep. Just under 1 million on this one. But it releases right alongside the others. Yeah, we already saw that. Good profits. It looks like it's good profits anyway. We can now do 7 elements. I was waiting to make my own scripts and come up with my own stories. I wanted to get this one before. So now that we have that, that'll be happy. Why don't we go in and maybe talk about sequels? Writers going a little bit faster would be nice too. Script Doctor's good. We should get Script Doctor. We can spend like a little bit of extra money to speed that up and we'll get a Script Doctor. So what a Script Doctor does is essentially you send it to, you know, get a third party, get a second opinion on the script. Let somebody else outside look over and you basically give the script a once or twice over and try to fix it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it fails and it's the same script. You're never gonna make your script worse this way, but you can make your script better this way. It costs a little bit of money up front and it's only a chance to succeed. But Script Doctor is nice. We can make it work. Russell, goodbye. Have a nice time. Horror one for me is done. Beautiful. 8.9. Ooh. I mean, I knew it wasn't going to stay at 9.9, but the fact that it's an 8.9 is pretty dang good. Pour one for me. All right. We are releasing all the things. Goodness. So this is going to release right after Thin Blue Line. I kind of want to have this, yeah, like right on Valentine's Day, yeah? It's a romance. So right on Valentine's Day is when I want this. Now we have to evaluate exactly how many showings we're going to need for Thin Blue Line. And I think we got to the point where we were not buying much anymore. So after this point here will be the most eventful. And then we start here. So the second month, we want all of our own theaters to be using this, but we probably can't have that. So I think for this first little wave here, because we're going to want to have Thin Blue Line occupying our own theaters for this, is 1, 2, 3, 4. So I guess it'd be this one. So maybe we'll go, let's say this many screenings. We'll leave this amount of space here for Thin Blue Line. This one could be wide open because it's happening after this film is done. And then we're going to want to go something like, probably like this. So we can leave these open for Thin Blue Line. And then we kind of slowly introduce more and more screenings, right? And so for the top side here, we're going to want to rent some more space. It just has to happen, unfortunately. So we're going to rent, let's say, that much to really get those up there. It's going to cost me a bunch, 81K to do that. This is why we're buying our own theaters, though. So we don't have to do this anymore. And then next, we're going to make sure that we have, let's say, this many. And then down here, we'll bring it up to, let's say, this many. And then here, I think we're pretty much rocking. So we'll just have our own there. Okay, let's go ahead and print it. And Pour One for me is going to have a whole bunch of advertising on it too. So let's get that going and we'll extend it all the way this far. It's an alcohol movie, but it's also a romantic comedy, right? So we're going to want to maybe have women involved in it, potentially. Here. And let's go to the radio. So that's a lot of money in advertising. I think it's going to work out pretty well. I don't want any tricks. I think we're going to be fine without them. I mean, the whole movie is kind of like a subtle propaganda piece, right? So it's already a trick in and of itself. So that's good. Pop it in there for distribution. Ready to go. We got 2 movies in production right now. 1 is in pre-production and then 2 scripts being developed. Let's see about making our own. What do we want to make? I'm clicking this button without any idea at all what I want to make first. That usually doesn't happen, but let's figure it out. Unfortunately, we have to name it, but we can change the name later too. So why don't we call this one To Be Determined? Or maybe we could have Determination just be the title of the movie. And then why don't we say this one is an action adventure. We could do a little thrilling. We could do a little bit of thriller to it, but I think an action adventure comedy we're doing pretty good with this. We can have a lot of action, a lot of adventure, a little bit of comedy, comic relief kind of things right there. That's good. Let's do it in the Wild West. Why not? Have some fun with it. And let's say, I wish we had different settings. I want more settings than just this. Like, for example, space. Where's my space setting? I want to make a space movie. Maybe that wasn't the thing that they thought about in the 1930s. I disagree. I think they did. I would like one. Okay, so why don't we make this one a daring adventurer? Ooh, outcast, working man, sheriff, hopeless romantic, soldier. We could do a war movie, potentially. We could. Wayward soul. Despite seemingly good intentions, this person has lost their way. We could do a story like that, too. I think the daring adventurer is going to work better for this particular script. Supporting characters, let's have... if I do a love interest, then I kind of need to incorporate some romance into it, don't I? I could, but I'm not going to. Let's do femme fatale. I want to incorporate some of my ladies here too. We could do sidekick. Yeah, let's do a sidekick. Maybe we do. Maybe a mentor could be involved in it too. We could just do another treasure hunt. I know it's kind of unoriginal at this point, but we could get that going. And then avenging a loved one, crime of necessity, generational conflict. We could also maybe get some more risque stuff. There is a theme and event that's called nudity. I don't have it yet, but there's that. So we could start introducing some risque stuff, which would probably piss off all the Christians. Could be fun to read their articles. How about a runaway? Runs away from home or dreams of doing so. Maybe that's something we could do. And then we can change the mentor to be a strict parent. So now the guy ran away from home, trying to form the story, trying to figure out what story are we telling while we click the buttons, right? So, run away. There's a shootout, maybe a little bit of action there. There's a shootout in the Wild West. Why not? And there's a treasure hunt, and he ultimately finds the treasure. All right, so maybe he runs away from home to find the treasure, and he's got a strict parent telling him no, telling him not to do it. Would there be an antagonist? Would there be an antagonist? Could be witch, murderer, pirate. Not quite. Tribal chief, not quite. Nah, I don't think there needs to be an antagonist necessarily. The femme fatale thing is sort of interesting, but I sort of... I'm not sure this works as well as I thought it would, but you know what? We're gonna run with it. See what happens. We'll run with it. See a freelance writer. So we're looking for a comedy and action. We have comedy writer here who does adventure as well. And actually, this is an adventure movie, so he would do really well with this script, probably. He's also not very expensive. I like not very expensive. 280 days isn't great, though. And I'd like it to be way faster than that, but it's not. So we're going to leave that script to you. And then why don't we tell another, like, coming-of-age tale? We'll get another script going. Let's use some elements we haven't used before. And we'll call this one... way back. I don't know what that even means yet. We'll see. I want to say we do let's do like maybe I'm tempted to go adventure just because there's other writers for that kind of thing, but why don't we say romance, adventure. I'm hesitant to go comedy, but yeah. So not a lot of action, but a romance, comedy, adventure. And then the adventure part would be a pretty significant part of it. So I think maybe you would go something about like this, I guess. Kind of a three-way. Sort of like that, yeah. Yeah. We'll see how that goes. We'll say the tropical island thing. Seems interesting. And for our protagonist on this story, why don't we have... We could maybe do it like a wayward soul, but it's better to go with hopeless romantic, I think, here. For the type of movie we're making, we could even do a clumsy oaf. But it has to be a male character. I was kind of thinking about not doing a male character for the protagonist this time. I think the outcast, maybe. We'll go outcast. We'll just see what this is. See how we can formulate a new story. You know, I want to do something different. So the outcast, what are they doing? Why are they outcast? What are their motivations? What are they trying to accomplish here? Let's go to the themes. I think the outcast is struggling for a better life. And I think they are a runaway who is looking for... They're trying... Ooh, nah. I was going to say maybe they're trying to save their beloved, but 1930s, I don't know about that one. Searching for unrequited love. Someone's affections are unreciprocated no matter what they do. I don't like that one either. Let's have a love interest and a strict parent. We'll say that the sweethearts stay together, and we'll go with generational conflict. Could be interesting here. Figures that maybe that's why they're an outcast kind of thing, right? I don't think the love triangle works. However, if we switched it to rival, it would work. But outcast would no longer work in that story. Like, the outcast doesn't work with this necessarily. You have to kind of keep with the theme, keep with the fact that this is rejected by their family and community. So strict parent is rejecting him, right? And then they run away, and they run away with their lover, struggling for a better life. They stay together. What else happens to them while they're out there? They don't have to win the beloved. Well, I mean, they could, I guess. maybe maybe they run away together, but she's trying to conquer his heart. I don't know how that would work, but it wouldn't be a love triangle. Yeah. All right, maybe we'll do Winning the Beloved. I don't know if that will necessarily work, but with this, I think we need to pull back a little bit on the adventure, add more romance to it. And we'll select a screenwriter for this one. And with this one, I still like you, but you're busy working on other things, so very expensive. Could be better to have a different writer on this one. Maybe our own staff might be able to handle this one too, but yeah, they're kind of busy with things. So let's get a different writer. 4.0, a comedy writer. It would be okay. Chast. I guess I could probably pay. You're cheap. That's kind of why I'm digging this one. Let's see what you can do with this. 273 days. See what you can make work there. Well, hello there, Don Alberto Conti. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now met the Mafia. Take a breath for a minute, my son, and listen to this old man. My father, Riccardo Conti, a great man, a consigliere. All the Sicily feared him. His brother, Giovanni Conti, was all just empty talk. A clown who never did anything except write stupid poems. But who do you think is remembered in my homeland now? In my native Messina, one of the streets is named after the poet Giovanni Conti. Riccardo was forgotten a few months after his death. I refused to suffer the fate of my father, so I wrote a book, The Story of My Life. But when I finished the novel and gave the manuscript to my grandchildren, those jerks didn't even read a single page. And that's when I realized, if you want to be remembered in America, you have to make a movie. We hired professionals and turned the book into a script, and it turned out just fine. Now I want you to make a film with it. I am willing to give you $1 million to cover the costs. You see, this film will make a name for everyone involved. What do you say? Can we help each other? So this one here is not just like make a script based on this. This is an actual completed script already. So that bypasses the whole timeline of having to write it. So let's see what we have. How intriguing. Show me the script at once. Ooh. We're just going to see the script. Okay. So Vincenzo D'Ambrosio, probably butchered that huge, sorry. The Sicilian Tiger. It is 40% action, 40% detective, 20% drama. We can read the script. Okay, cool. So I think I remember this from the demo in our last playlist, but I've forgotten it. So like I'm reliving it for the first time with deja vu kind of. So the protagonist is a hopeless romantic. Once upon a time in Sicily, there lived a boy named Alberto. He was the son of Colombino Conti, a fourth-generation mafioso, a king of thieves known throughout Italy. Alberto had no fondness for his life. Everything was given to him upon a silver platter, like he was a helpless woman. But he knew he wanted to build his own happy life for himself. He would step out of his father's shadow and make his own dreams come true. He would go to America. He's a runaway, okay? One night, Alberto threw a bunch of grapes into his travel bag and ran away from his parents' house. He grabbed the ore he'd carved from an olive tree and jumped into a gondola. Few would dare to take the voyage to America alone in such a modest craft, but Alberto was brave and full of purpose. After a week of sailing, he arrived in New York and got himself a job at the port. But he wouldn't be a Conti if he hadn't a sense of adventure. A parent figure. That's new. Someone who cares for the protagonist like a parent, but isn't their parent. Gotcha. So I was kind of treating mentor like that, but I guess it's distinctive. There's a distinction there. So one day, Alberto saw 5 scoundrels with pistols robbing a guy in the street. Alberto stood up for him and fought off the bandits with his bare hands. It so happened the poor fellow was no ordinary passerby, but the son of Dale Scrugio, the mafia boss who controlled half of New York. In gratitude, Scrugio took Alberto under his wing and educated him in the local customs. Over time, they started trusting him with the most delicate of tasks. Alberto proved himself strong, courageous, and quick-witted. Scrugio often said of Alberto, "It's a pity that my son isn't more like his friend." A love interest, of course. One day, at a city dance, Alberto met a girl named Charissa. Alberto liked her smile and invited her out to dinner. It wasn't until the third date that Alberto learned that Charissa was the daughter of none other than Benjamin Desmond, the head of the rival family. The Romeo and Juliet situation had to come in sooner or later, didn't it? And one who controlled the other half of New York. But Alberto wasn't afraid of Charissa's father. Of course not. He would not meet her secretly like a schoolboy. He wanted everyone to see that he and Charissa were in love. So obviously the antagonist is going to be the criminal mastermind, right? Desmond quickly learned of his daughter's adventures and became furious. He struck Charissa and growled through his teeth, "You will marry my business partner Bancho Krugar, or you will die." Wow, that's pretty extreme. That escalated very quickly. At the next Mafia meeting, he delivered his competitor an ultimatum. "Scrugio, hand over your pup Alberto, or you will regret it." But Scrugio would not betray Alberto. The boy had become even dearer to him than his own son. Instead, he hid the boy away in an abandoned house on the outskirts of the city. "You must leave this place forever," he said, "and never return." Alberto nodded gratefully and hugged Scrugio goodbye. "Don't worry any more about Alberto," Scrugio said at the next meeting with Desmond. "I've taken care of him." To this, Desmond replied, "I hope that means you killed him. You know what I do to people who disappoint me." But Alberto couldn't live without his beloved and decided to take Charissa with him. He made his way to the Desmond estate and broke into the mansion. The guards were armed with blades, but his fists were all he needed. He freed his beloved, and later that same day, Alberto and Charissa were on a train to Mexico. That's bold. Desmond soon discovered that his daughter had run off with Alberto. "Just as I thought," he hissed. "Scrugio tricked me. You have only yourself to blame, old man." Late that night, Desmond and 10 henchmen surrounded Del Scrugio's house and opened fire with triple-barreled guns. A hail of bullets turned the guards to mincemeat, killed the servants, and even Scrugio's son. But by some miracle, Scrugio himself survived. He managed to grab a gun, killed one of the bandits with a well-aimed shot, and barricaded himself in a bedroom. Desmond ordered the mansion burned. Scrugio choked and succumbed to the smoke as flames engulfed the building. When Alberto learned that Dale Scrugio had been killed, he clenched his fists so tightly that he left bloody marks on his palms. That evening, Alberto kissed Charissa goodbye and returned to America to get revenge for Desmond. Back in New York, Alberto spoke to a gardener who saw what happened that night. He compiled a kill list, each of Desmond's henchmen involved in the raid. Avenging loved ones, yep. Alberto went on one mobster to the next, taking their lives. Or went from one mobster to the next. He stabbed Fat Sam in the eyes with his throwing knives, plunged a dagger into Skinny Tom's belly, shot lanky Phil in the head with a pair of revolvers, and threw a garrote around Shorty Winnie's neck. Our hero became as death as itself. Before the gangsters could reach for their guns, they were already dead on the floor. No one compared with Alberto in precision, strength, or speed. Antagonist gets killed. Alberto made his way to the Mafia leader's lair, where he found Desmond, and he'd taken a hostage, Charissa. The poor girl secretly followed her beloved to New York. Her father put a revolver to his daughter's head. "Surrender, Alberto, or you alone will be to blame for her death." Alberto slowly raised his hands, but at the final moment, pulled the trigger and fired at the chandelier above Desmond's head. The bullet, in an explosion of sparks, ricocheted and hits Desmond right in the temple. Charissa was saved. That's ridiculous. You're just embellishing the story a little bit here, Mr. Sicilian Tiger. Just a bit of embellishment. Finally, the surviving members of both clans came to Alberto with an offer. "Signore Conti, you are the most worthy of men among us. Be our boss. Let us unite and become stronger than we have ever been before. After some thought, Alberto agreed. He united the clans and made the New York family the most powerful syndicate in all of America, and Charissa Desmond became his wife. Just a bit of exaggeration there, Alberto. Just a little. What do you think? We will release your film in 2 years, or we can release it within 1 year with a prominent actor in the title role. And I feel like I want to do this because having these guys happy with me, having them on their side, or having them on my side just seems like a really nice thing. I know it's a propaganda puff piece, but I think we can do it. And I kind of have the money to do it right now. I don't want to get overstepped, though, because if I don't do it in a year, then I'm screwed. I piss them off. So let's do 2 years just to be safe. We're going to receive $1 million for doing that. Okay. It's a pretty good script, too. There's a lot of stuff going on in there. It is objectively a pretty good script.